It's time once again for my friends to look up at the night sky, because this month we have so much to be excited about. It is May 2025, and it is time for Catch the Night Sky. Welcome back, star lovers, to the monthly show where we take a peek at what's happening in the night sky for the month of May, and this month has some special treats that we're going to talk about. As always, there's a lot to go through, so let's get right into it. Let's start with the phases of the moon. This month, the moon will be full on May, which means that for most of the first half of the month, the moon will be a waning gibbous. So that's not great if you want to do any astronomy. But luckily, we'll have a new moon on May, so the last week of the month should be pretty dark sky friendly. On May, we're going to have a supermoon and also a total lunar eclipse. That means that the Earth will be passing between the sun and the moon. And even though this happens a few times a year, every single one is unique because the moon and the Earth's orbit are misaligned by about 5 degrees. That means that the moon lines up perfectly in front of the sun only partially during these eclipses. The partial phases of the eclipse will begin around 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time, reach totality around 8:44 p.m., and end its partial phases at around 10:43 p.m. The best place to see this will obviously be anywhere that is experiencing totality at that time. But keep in mind that even if you aren't in the path of totality, you'll still notice the moon will look a little bit red during this time. That's because the remaining light from the sun will be scattered through the Earth's atmosphere. And since red wavelengths of light are longer than blue wavelengths of light, they'll get scattered less and will appear more pronounced on the moon during this time. Moving on to our first planet highlights, Venus will be at its greatest eastern elongation this month on May. That means that it'll be at its farthest distance from the sun in the sky, which also means that it'll be visible in the morning sky for the rest of the year. I know I say this every month when Venus goes through its elongations, but this really is the best time to view Venus because it's so bright in the sky. You can actually use it to help find other objects that are fainter than it, like the Pleiades star cluster or the Hyades and the Pleiades. Star clusters are really fun to view through binoculars because you can fit more of them in the field of view. And during this time, you might notice that Mars and Mercury will be lined up with Venus in the western skies just after sunset. Mars will be on the left and Mercury will be on the right, so that's something cool to look out for. And speaking of Mars, the red planet will reach opposition on May, meaning that it'll be at its closest approach to the Earth and also fully illuminated by the reflected light of the sun. This is another great opportunity to observe the surface features of Mars and also capture some images of the planet. Mars will be at its brightest this month, and it'll also be at its biggest. So don't miss your chance to capture some awesome photos of the red planet. The next thing we're going to be keeping an eye on this month is Comet 1-2P Pons-Brooks, which will be making its way through the inner solar system. While this comet won't be naked eye visible, it's still an incredible object to capture through telescopes and binoculars. At its closest approach to the sun, the comet will pass within just 7 million kilometers of our planet. So we have a really good shot of capturing it this month. If you have a backyard telescope, definitely try to point it towards the constellation Gemini, where the comet will be passing through. If you don't have a telescope, don't worry. This comet will remain visible in the sky for the next few months. As it continues its journey, it'll actually be naked eye visible during its peak in late June, when it passes through the constellation Cancer. But more on that in our June episode. Next up, let's talk about meteor showers. May is a great month for meteors because we have 2 major ones happening: the Eta Aquarid meteor shower and the May or no micrometeor shower. The Eta Aquarid meteor shower will be active from May to May, with its peak activity happening around May. During this time, we expect about 10 to 20 meteors per hour under dark skies. The radiant point of this meteor shower is near the bright star Capella in the constellation of Aquarius. So make sure to point your binoculars towards that part of the sky if you want to increase your chances of seeing a meteor. And while this meteor shower isn't expected to be very prolific, it does have the potential to produce fireballs. Fireballs are meteors that appear brighter than the planet Venus and can be as bright as the full moon, so keep your eyes peeled for those. The best time to view this meteor shower will be the night of May and before sunrise on May. That's when the radiant point will be passing through the constellations that are visible in the pre-dawn sky. And if you live in the northern hemisphere and are in a time zone that experiences daylight savings time, don't forget to move your clock forward 1 hour before going out to view the meteors. If you don't do that, you'll be 1 hour off from the predicted peak times. The second meteor shower that we're going to be looking out for this month is the May or No Micrometeor shower. This one will be active throughout the month of May, with a peak that's expected to happen around May. Unlike the ATA Aquarids, the May shower doesn't have a well-defined radiant point. Instead, it seems to cover a large area of the sky. That makes it a little bit harder to predict when the meteors will be peaking, but it also means that meteors can be coming from any direction. The best place to look for meteors during this shower is overhead, away from the Milky Way band. The reason why you don't want to look at the Milky Way band is that the Milky Way contains a lot of dust and gas. And since meteors tend to leave behind these beautiful green trails, you don't want the dust and gas of the Milky Way to obscure your view of those trails. Also, the May shower is known for producing a lot of persistent trains. Persistent trains are the green glowing trails left behind by meteors. They're a really beautiful sight to see in the night sky, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled for them. Finally, unlike the ATA Aquarids, the May shower is expected to be quite prolific. During the peak, we expect about 50 to 60 meteors per hour under dark sky conditions. Finally, if you want a quick refresher on what's happening in the night sky this month, feel free to download my May 2025 night sky map. This map covers both the northern and southern hemispheres and includes major constellations, planets, the Milky Way, and the zodiacal light. And if you want to learn how to read a star map, we have a video explaining everything you need to know right here. We also have a video explaining all of the constellations found on my star map right here. And that's all we have for May. Make sure to let me know what you ended up seeing in the night sky this month, and follow us for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.